G'day, everybody. Welcome back to episode 22. I think we are. Actually, I think I've made an error.
I think you said maybe. Did you say 21
Yeah,
last time?
I did.
Can't remember.
Yeah, and I think I copied and pasted it when I was doing.
Let's just say 20-something.
20-something of Read This Way. I am
Yeah.
your co-host, Bradley Aiden, and this is Logan Franch. That's how you pronounce it, right?
Franche. That's
Franch.
You got to roll the R a little bit.
Franche.
I don't say it that way because people get confused. You know, it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard for them to spell.
Yeah, it's like mine. It's not Aiden. It's Adon.
Adon.
Adon. Yeah.
Adon.
Anyway, we're getting really off topic.
Let's get
right
back
from
to,
the get-go. Jumping straight back into the news, we've had two cancellations. I think I went to say two different things then, and my brain broke.
Cancellations. You got a little bit excited on the A.
Yeah, because I think I was gonna say canceled series, but then I'd already started saying cancellations, and then I just really paused there on that A.
That's okay. I just thought it was a fancy cancellation. I really didn't.
Cancellations.
Yeah.
The reason I'm avoiding talking about this is because I was right, and I didn't want to be. Aliens
I know,
area,
and I was super optimistic. I was all like, "No, man, it's just the way the pacing of the story goes. It's just the way that he's setting it up for this really awesome." And he was setting it up for something awesome, and we got shot down.
We got shafted again.
Yeah.
And the other one that got cancelled was Super Smartphone.
Super Smartphone,
but we saw that coming a mile away.
Yeah.
Aliens area hurt. It was
of that and
it was just so
but Aliens area. It was just it's kind of everything we were after at the moment, really. We were looking for that nice balance between human relatable stories along with fantastical, wonderful things. It was a good balance, but I don't understand what they didn't say. When I say they, it's clearly going to be the Japanese public who didn't see it as a story that would go forward.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that they all have to vote, right? And with the sudden eruption of Chainsaw Man, that's a guaranteed spot. One Piece, Jujutsu, all your standards sort of floating around.
There's a bunch that are going to be wrapping up soon too, so there's going to be slots popping open.
Slots for long-running series, and I feel like they've really, I reckon they've really shot down something that had a lot of potential behind it. This time,
the weirdest thing. Sorry.
No, that's right. I was just going to say it's not the first time they've shot down something that had a lot of potential, but this is just bad timing.
The absolute weirdest thing for me is that both Super Smartphone and Aliens area both got cut short of the normal 30 chapters that they usually get, and had the legs cut out from them at chapter 20 or around that. And the final page doesn't say the end or to be continued or whatever. It just says that if you want to read the rest of the story, you have to go and buy the official release once it does hit the printed version. But I don't know, it feels kind of weird doing it that way.
I think they've got two plans here.
Do you think that it's their last ditch effort to make as much money from it as possible off the existing fans?
Definitely. So they're gonna go, okay, there's still an existing fan group here that want to see the end of the story. The only way we're going to make money off them is if we milk them through a tankobon. which makes sense. I mean, that's a great business move, really good. But on the on another note, I feel like they're doing it so they can slot something in quicker.
Yeah.
Um, and I really don't know what kind of direction they're heading in, because some of the stuff I've been seeing crop up on Manga Plus has been a lot more webtoonish, I'm going to say, in its feel and presence. I mean, something that's just cropped up recently, the I can't even remember the name of it because I didn't get far into it.
Is it the one that came out today? The Romantic Killer?
Could have that one. That one. Full color has
Oh.
all the same pacing and
Oh. So
verbal
this is probably
ticks
one of
and
the
stuff like
ones that's
that.
come
Of
from the manga creators?
Yeah, look, I reckon so. I reckon so. And the thing about those creators that are creating these digital contents is they tend to come from that webtoon um, Korean background that has a very different flavor to it.
Mm,
Not a bad flavor. There's plenty of webtoons I can name that are just absolutely spectacular, but it has a different rhythm and a different feel to what they do over in Japan. And the primary difference, I think, is the color just makes things visually look so different. And
yeah.
I don't know how you would be able to, don't know how you'd be able to keep that up on a chapter to chapter basis from week to week. You just couldn't. Not with full color. Not with
I don't know how
25
they
odd
do it.
pages. Well, they don't. That's the thing. Because they don't release weekly like that on that many pages. Webtoons often release, 10, 15 pages max.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Frank. But, he probably deserved it.
For context, we've got obsessed with Deathloop, so
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I do enjoy
The
that
game that
game.
came out a year ago but only got released on other consoles like recently. It's a lot
Yeah.
of fun. Completely unrelated to like anime manga, but oh boy, that is a fantastically crafted game that is utilizes its core mechanic to tell its a very engaging story with a kind of like a discovery around every corner sort of murder puzzle. It's really cool. The aesthetic
That's
is
good.
mwah.
I've been looking at it actually myself, and I've just finished up Horizon Forbidden West. So
Oh yep.
that might be my next title to jump onto. Um,
You'll enjoy it. The
yeah.
only thing I would suggest with anyone that's looking to pick it up is blast through the tutorial, follow those story missions until you kind of the game opens up to you, because you won't be able to keep anything until you finish like your first loop.
Ah.
It's
The
pretty
whole
cool.
concept absolutely is something that really hones in on what I love.
Yeah.
Time travel and time loops are just something I absolutely gravitate towards. Um,
It's very like Groundhog Day in terms of like you're learning everything about these areas and what the people are doing, so that you can basically be like a god.
yeah. Well, that's what he
And
did in Groundhog Day, wasn't it? It's
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And if you splice that concept together with Dishonored, it's basically what Deathloop is.
yeah. And Dishonored's mad, crazy game.
Yeah. Hi,
Man,
welcome to Play
maybe
This Way, our video game podcast.
that's our next podcast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Man, well, Jack, you clearly type a lot more about elements and rare materials than you do about manga. Um,
I'm pretty sure that's what whatever he says to me as an insult when I'm like talking about something Japanese related.
a manganese.
Yeah, I'm like it's
Uh,
nothing to do with manga. It's just cultural whatever. It's
yeah.
basically how the
It,
conversation goes.
You just don't get it. Um,
No.
okay, let's get back on track. Okay. Okay. I haven't watched the latest episode of Chainsaw Man, but I've read the manga. I know what's happening. I,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not having to rush to it. I know what to expect. I think I'm actually going to wait till it's finished rolling out now,
Yeah.
so I can binge it. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I'm
I don't know
probably going to
why. I
continue
just feel like that.
watching it in Japanese because the English dubs just dropped as of today, I believe, and I'll be watching it with my partner in dub. So I'll probably, I don't know, I might watch it in both, or
I'd be curious to see what the
yeah, I
dub's
don't
like.
know.
Actually,
Um,
hmm. On Chainsaw Man news
pe-
though, they've been rolling out some Gengar for the anime because of everybody's hoo-ha about the 3D. They're going, there's too much 3D animation in there. I can't enjoy it. So Mappa's been releasing, 20, 30 seconds worth of Gengar, which I don't know if you're familiar with the term.
what's Gengar?
But Gengar is a shortcut of animation, which is absolutely phenomenal. It's just a sequence of animation that runs for, maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds. And it's just a absolutely, beautiful piece of hand drawn animation. And they just break that down and they slow mo it and they get all the files for the animation. So Mappa's rolled out a like a 4-panel showing of the a sequence that they use to create the animation. I've sent it
Yeah.
to you. It's on Twitter.
Oh,
Which which will give you the storyboard, the key animations, and then the 3D animation, and then the final piece. But it just shows you how much handwork is actually still in there, and how
yeah.
much they're just utilizing the 3D for the backgrounds. Because let's face it, the backgrounds in Chainsaw Man are detailed as hell. And if they were to do that by hand, it would have taken them more than the 12 months they had.
Oh,
They
yeah.
or 2 years or whatever it is they had.
The
They
turnaround was crazy though.
yeah, the turnaround was absolutely mad, and they had to use 3D in order to get that turnaround. And I don't mind. I really don't mind. Backgrounds I can deal with. They pull me a little bit from the hand drawn animation, but they don't pull me enough away from it to
Yeah.
stop me enjoying it. Yeah.
Um,
So, but keep your eye out. Anybody who's looking to understand the process of how they make the stuff. Genga, that's Genga, Genga, like the ghost. It's Pokemon Genga.
yeah, but I think that's got an R on the end of it. It's Gengar.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gengar. Okay. Well, slightly
Close, but
like I
yeah.
said,
Yeah.
I said like. I didn't say exactly. It's like.
In terms of Chainsaw Man, though, 18 million copies in circulation now.
Now officially holding the title of most annoying fan base.
Yeah,
Being passed
yeah.
across from JoJo's, apparently.
Well, I see.
We're aggressive.
I feel like there's like two camps when it comes to Chainsaw Man. You've got like the Markham Simps side of it, which just bark and woof at everybody and have taken that
That
gag way
just
too far.
confuses me.
Because Denji's
Yeah,
her
yeah,
puppy.
yeah.
That's the
I know.
whole
It just
like yeah.
confuses me
Oh,
that
that
people would simp
okay.
for
Yeah,
some.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I
there's so
understand what
many
you're
other
saying now.
characters you
Yeah.
could simp for in that series.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
And then like you've got the pretentious side of it that's we're intellectuals, which is where I feel like we fall into it.
Yeah, look, we're in the what you didn't realize that this meant this, and he was actually trying to construct this sensation and feeling from from doing this and connecting it to this and that. Yeah, No, there's that too.
What's that?
I don't
You,
know.
you
Look,
mean?
I don't know if I'm in the intellectual camp as much as you are. I'm in it for the chaos camp. That's where I'm at.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
love
No,
the pure
that's where that fits
chaos.
in
Yeah.
because it's the see Chainsaw Man, Dun Dun Dun. Nah, it's pretty much those two. I was gonna say Hell's Paradise, but that's not really that chaotic. But Chainsaw Man and Dun 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 have this innate controlled chaos. So
Hmm.
the the intellectual side of it is what I'm classing as that section of the fan base. Likes to look at the technical aspects as well as enjoying like the pure artistry that is Chainsaw Man from a writing perspective, as well as the illustrations that are just out of this world.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah. I'm
Also, we're
feeling you. I
spoiled. We're
thought you
getting
were.
so many different endings.
What?
The,
Yeah.
it, the
It's sort of thrown
we
out. It's yeah. I guess.
I really enjoyed the first one, the Chainsaw Blood. I thought that song slapped. I was a little bit upset that we didn't get an animation for it, but the second one that was pretty cool, and the ending for this episode just dropped is Maximum the Hormone song, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
Haven't watched it
really?
yet though.
You
Yeah,
were a big fan of the old Maximum the Hormone.
I am. I
Um,
am. So, and it looks like it's a completely different animated ending to the second episode as well. So,
oh, I wonder if they're
trending
just
because what I've heard
giving
is
people
that
different opportunity.
yeah, well, yeah, and that's what it looked like. The ending animation for episode two looked like it was all done by like, it, well, at least stylistically, it was done by one person overseeing the entire project.
Yeah,
Um, Whether or not it's like a small team or it is a solo job, I'm not sure.
could easily be a 2 or 3 man
Yeah,
team. Sorry. Um, to do something like that. Yeah, I think I think they're giving people the opportunity, by the sounds of it, in the Marpa crew to express their love for the Chainsaw Man.
I think so. Um, in more news, Hokkaido Girls Are Super Adorable is getting a TV animation.
Hokkaido Girls Super. Is that the title?
That's the title. It's a Manga
So
Plus title.
you weren't just calling it super
No,
adorable.
that's the title.
Um, I don't think I have actually read
No,
that.
I've seen it, but I haven't actually picked it up.
Super
It's
Hokkaido.
currently got
Oh God, let me just search.
roughly
Why am I?
85 chapters, 86.
Oh, so it's come along a fair way.
Yeah.
Ah, Hokkaido Girls Are Super
Sorry,
Adorable.
gals, yeah.
Yeah.
Started back in 2020. I
Oh,
believe specifically a Manga Plus title.
yeah, probably because it's just going to be chock full of fan service, right?
Hopefully.
It looks like it's got dress up darling vibes
Yeah,
from what I can see. Um, yeah, yeah, that's just a quick flick through a chapter, and that's as soon as I open it, I'm just like, that's the vibe. That's what I'm getting.
yeah. It looks like
Um,
it's a rom com. But
Hit
is
romantic
that
comedy with over
the
46 million views on Jump Plus.
is that
That's a fair
the
view find
first to get uh, anime adaptation?
from Jump Plus directly.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
As far as we know, um, it's not to say that's the truth, but as far as we know, with what we've read so far, that would probably be the first Jump Plus title to get an anime adaptation.
I
Should
think
be
so,
interesting.
yeah.
I think there's a lot of amazing stories on Jump Plus that they don't have on the regular Jump site, which is a shame. Because they tend to be a bit more relaxed.
Mm.
Yeah, am I? Yeah,
Yeah, I'd say
I
so.
get that. I feel like they give us the stories are a lot more fleshed out.
Actually, no, Hell's Paradise. Even though it's not out yet, Hell's Paradise will be the first, I think.
Oh, is that a plus title?
Yeah,
Huh.
it was adult. Well, actually, yeah, no, it is a bit
But
actually.
I read it through Viz's website
Yeah,
on
that's
the Jump.
that's why you had to.
Ah, because it's a Jump Plus title.
Yeah,
Yep.
and because
Okay.
it's considered adult, it wasn't allowed.
Well,
Yeah, there's
well.
boobies and a lot of murder
Yeah, there's a lot of murder, like
and
proper
body
murder,
horror.
not just the regular fun kind, the pretty nasty kind.
I'm still gutted that Aishimon got cancelled, but I feel like it
Uh,
probably would have done better if it was a Jump Plus title. And the only reason I say that is because I feel like he could have gone all out like he did with Hell's Paradise.
yeah, I feel like it was really restrained.
Yeah.
Aishimon would have been a better story if he let the violence roll a little bit heavier. I
And I
think.
don't know if that's his side of it. Because I mean, Fujimoto, Chainsaw Man,
He don't care.
barely anything got taken away from like the Jump app, except for like maybe one or two color spreads that we got that you had to go to the website to look at
Yeah,
because
and
they
they
were a
would.
little raunchy.
Yeah,
Not anything to write home about, just a little bit
yeah,
raunchy. You
yeah.
see a
Not too
little
much.
bit of shoulder, a little bit of neck. I was fully
It was
nude,
full
but still.
nudity. But you're right. It wasn't technically like a sexual shot per se. It was just a shot. But you know, is what it is. They've got to stick to the restrictions. But they need to. I feel like they need to take a note out of Manga Plus's book and just relax a little bit with some of these new titles
Yeah.
and let the reins go. Let the creators create something without the power of the editors looming above them.
A little bit more in the news. The mangaka for Heart Gear might be going on hiatus soon due to poor health.
Well,
Um,
considering the level of detail they put in their work, that does not surprise me.
mm,
It
I
really
need to
doesn't.
catch up on that. I've been reading it kind of weekly. Like I'll binge a couple of chapters and
Yeah.
then and then I'll forget about it and then binge a couple more. It doesn't help that I've been like burning myself out on Bleach at the moment, but I'm
Yes,
almost
you
done. I'm almost done. Um, and I'll come back to Bleach in a minute. Um, I think so with Heart Gear, they're up to like their fifth volume roughly. And that's going to be delayed in its publication because of the upcoming potential hiatus, along with the health issues. But I would
have.
definitely recommend people jump on Heart Gear. It's very, uh, it gives me Maiden Abyss vibes.
It's got some really interesting beats to it, and the
It seems
characters are
wholesome, but also
very.
really dark.
Yeah, it's like it's yeah. You've got a wholesome slice on top, and then you got that dark meat in the middle. It's
Mm.
uh, it's some bad stuff going on that is just out of reach.
So much
But
mystery as well. Like the
man,
world building is just drip fed, but
yeah,
it's done in a good way because the world in and of itself is so drastically different, and it's like a post-apocalypse and you don't know what happened, and you kind of get drip fed all these little answers, but you don't it's kind of inconsequential to the story because the story is just girl and robot try and repair other robot friend from crazy robot who murdered.
Yeah, that's the
That's
start, and that's the
basically,
first chapter.
yeah. And then it's just them on a journey, and
Mm,
I'm really enjoying these journey sort of like Ginka and Luna. Really enjoying that sort of adventure discovery, just
yeah,
exploratory world.
I've caught up on that actually. It's
What are your thoughts?
I love it. I really
It's
do.
great, right?
It's such a great story, and the characters are just so um aimless. I want to say aimless because
Yeah.
they just don't really care where they're going or what they're doing. They
Yeah,
just
it's
want
just
to
pure
go
adventure.
somewhere. Yeah, it's just pure adventure, and um, and the way they just power through everything is just fantastic. I love the fact that they haven't had come across anything that is too grand in a wall in their way.
Mm.
I like the
Yeah,
fact that
yeah,
they're
yeah.
just sort of powering through it,
I like
which is good.
the power system is basically based off imagination,
Yeah,
which
and I feel
is
like, and
so clever.
I feel like the world's kind of forgotten that
Mm.
in a way. As you sort of progress through the chapters a bit, it feels like the people that they meet and the way they perform magic and the way they do things, they've lost that pure way of producing magic versus the newer way that is probably more viable for a larger group of people, I'm going to guess.
Yeah.
So things like wands and tools and stuff like that that are require.
Actually, something that just occurred to me while you were talking about that is we don't really know how long Ginka has been in the snow as a snowman.
No, it could have been like 3,000 years for all we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Which is a great little novelty in its own.
Yeah.
When they don't give you those kind of details, it's fun when they actually do tell you
I know we're
when things
really
happen.
early in it, but I'm also getting nervous already.
And look, I told you it had early Red Hood vibes, which it still does.
It,
And when I say early Red Hood, I mean like the first 15 chapters
yeah.
of Red Hood. It has that very similar vibe to it of the possibility of adventure in a fantastical world full of or anything.
Yeah. And I think that's what I latched onto Red Hood um about was like the potential of that adventure.
And then they just, as much as I love the series, it just
Training
sort
arc.
of, yeah, it jumped straight into the training arc. And I'm just like, no, too quick. Um,
Yeah.
and then they tried to expand the cast too quickly. And they sort of wedged themselves into an arc that took just too long to do that.
Yeah.
And that's once again had a lot of potential behind it. And I hope he, revisits it and tries to do something in the same world. That would be great because I do like the world that he created, but
Yeah.
I find that it's going to be
Well,
unlikely.
yeah, it felt pretty final, and
Mm.
it
And
made me.
he
I think,
burnt that bridge.
yeah, yeah, very much so. I do feel like there could be a spiritual successor, in terms of like a different universe, maybe being able to tap into the book universes, sort of thing. I don't know. There's
Yeah,
potential there to like spin off from it if he so chose,
yeah,
but uh
yeah.
I suppose
Anyway,
why would you if it didn't work the first time maybe, but
yeah.
eh,
Well, hopefully with Ginkgo and Luna's jump straight into the adventure
so
style environment, it's just
you read the
carries
one that
through.
came out a couple of days ago?
Probably not. No,
The one
I
on
don't think
Monday?
I just started catching up again today
Okay.
on a few chapters, and I'm just trying to remember whether that was one of the ones I read. And no, it's not. Chapter 6. No, because I read Chainsaw Man because I didn't realize that had come out. Yeah.
There were some developments in the latest chapter that's made me a little bit concerned. However,
Man, we're only 6 chapters in. This is just painful.
seven, and the only reason I think I'm concerned is just because I'm really enjoying it, and they seem to cancel everything I enjoy. They're
It
like,
feels
"Oh,
that way.
he
It
really
feels that
likes One Piece. That's a big cash cow. We can't get rid of that.
way.
But he really also likes this. Yeah, no, that's new. We can scrap that. Screw
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
one guy in Australia that we don't
I know. I
actually
know.
know."
There's a guy
Yeah,
in Jump headquarters that's on a computer that's specifically tracking you and what you read and how
yeah.
much you like it,
It's feeling
just to
personal,
hit that
man.
cancel button. It's starting to. And I'm wondering how many other people out there feel like it is starting to feel personal because they're just canceling stuff without, it feels like they're without even thinking about it. Like no
Yeah, I
just
don't know.
cause on some of the stuff. I mean, things um like your smartphone, that's, I kind of get it because it locked itself into trying to find that sort of higher intellect of storytelling, and
Yeah.
it just couldn't get there. It couldn't get those twists or pull people into the characters the way that something like Death Note had. It,
I think
I
it
don't know.
needed to be a little bit more edgy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you go
It was
back and
too
look at
light.
Death Note, like Death Note is big brain, but it's so edgy.
Mm,
And I think that's what counteracts it, so you can be a bit more broad. Whereas I don't know, Super Smartphone, like I read the whole thing and it had its moments for me, but it did fall short. It didn't
it was
have
generic.
that it had the balls to actually kill off one of their main characters pretty early on. I don't know. I wouldn't
But did you
necessarily say it
care?
was
Did you
generic.
care that they killed the main character?
I did. No, no one. He was like antagonist that was like they would do it, definitely doing the whole, oh, he's gonna be a friend, but then they murdered him. And yeah, his character was actually kind of interesting, and I liked his character. They did a lot to flesh out the characters. I think are probably one of the strongest, just not the main character. He was kind of a bit flat. He, I don't know. He just, I don't know what it was about the series, man. I can't fully pin down. I'd say it was a solid 6 at its highest.
Yeah, yeah, mediocre. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's great. I'm not saying it's just sort of straight there in the middle, and that's what
Slightly
it is.
above average.
Yeah. What would you classify as the average benchmark, though?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, that's got you.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really think of the last thing that I would consider average. Like when it comes to stuff that hits publication like this, it's already going to have like a good artistic integrity. Like it's going to look pretty,
Hmm.
and there's be enough substance behind it that it's gotten a publication. So it's not necessarily that it's going to be terrible. There's obviously a
Yeah.
screening. Pardon me, sorry, a screening process, but yeah, I don't know. What would you consider the average benchmark?
Um.
Like give me a
So
title.
that
Make
in the
someone
middle,
angry.
in the make someone angry. Average, what I would classify as average, the everyday run of the mill shonen average would have to be Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Well, are
It's
you
not
saying okay,
good.
Dragon Ball as a
It's
whole?
not. Look, I'm not. I'm going to say that the original series, Dragon Ball,
Mm,
is probably higher than standard. The Dragon
yeah,
Ball Z series, standard.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's it's good. It's not great. It's not
It's got its moments.
bad. It's just in the middle, and it's everything that you expect from a shonen title, like in a cookie cutter environment. That's what that is. It's like it's like if Disney got hold of that formula and just repeated the same process over and over again. Wow, Marvel
I
Universe. Sorry.
mean,
Uh, so so it's basically it's the formula that's been created for the shonen environment. The hero is there,
it's hard, right?
faces a
Because
bad guy, loses, gets new power, faces bad guy again, wins, finds new bad guy. And the cycle sort of carries over and over, and that same cycle has been thrown into all the really popular shonen environments.
I mean, it's the shonen battle manga
Yeah,
formula that's. I mean, Dragon Ball pretty much set the stage for it, didn't it?
yeah, it did.
So
It created that mold. It really did.
yeah,
And
and then
and
you've
I,
got
I feel
things that.
like no, you go. Sorry, I've
No, you're
forgotten.
all good, man.
I've forgotten what I was going to say.
I was just gonna say, and then you get things that kind of iterated off of it. Because I was going to say Naruto, but then I stopped myself because they have their moments and they differentiate themselves enough from that mold because they were the first of the big three to kind of iterate off of it. You had Bleach, Naruto, and
Yeah,
One
and
Piece.
and
One Piece went
Naruto,
more of the adventure out.
that's right. And Naruto broke the mold by just being one mold instead of repeating the mold. So instead
Mm,
of creating the process of find new bad guy, learn new technique, beat bad guy, he's like find new bad guy, keep using the same technique till it wins.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Cause,
So
cause, cause he was like I'm terrible at everything, but now I'm only extremely good at one thing.
yeah, yeah.
And but to
Um,
his credit, he added one more thing. He had two things, and then
I
he got like
guess
a bunch of things.
sort of. They
Yeah,
didn't
well,
explain it.
I to be honest, I don't think I actually ever finished Naruto.
No, no.
I think I got like halfway through Shippuden.
You did well.
Shippuden or
I mean,
whatever.
that's
Yeah.
that's a lot of episodes. I mean, if you watch Naruto and then shifting into
Yeah.
Shippuden as well,
It's
that's
like
it's like
220 in like the original and then like another bunch.
there's like 300, 350 in the first,
There's a
and
really?
400.
Isn't that like
Yeah, it's like
220?
700 episodes all up. It's like enormous. And it depends on whether you want to cut out all the
I might
the
be
crap.
thinking like all the filler cut out, but I was sure it was like
Yeah,
220.
if you cut out the filler, it's a different story.
Yeah.
I mean that in the literal sense. It's a completely different story if you cut the filler out. But
Yeah.
that's week to week, man. That's how week to week anime works.
No, I think I might be actually pretty close. Because there was only 5 seasons in the original, and they were
Mm.
each about 50 episodes thereabouts.
50 episodes per season. It's a lot of episodes, right? For a season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, back then, no.
No, yeah,
Well,
because it was
no,
week to week.
even still, actually, yeah, because they usually were about like a 24 episode season,
Mhm.
except for like exactly 220. I don't know
There
how that
you
is stuck in my head. It's like 20
go.
years ago, man.
Sure, Rain Man. Let's move.
7, 8, 22.
22, 22. Yeah. Right. So let's carry over then. I can't remember what we were talking about when we started this.
We were just talking about the
Cancellations.
cancellations.
Yeah.
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 Ruby
So
Dragon, just off one volume, 200,000 copies sold. So that's why that's getting a bench saved for it when the mangaka comes back.
Yeah, I can see the guys at Shueisha. They're just like, just gently warming the seat, waiting for it to come back. Because let's face it, we all love Drury Dragon.
Yeah, it was really
There isn't a
cute.
person out there, I don't think, that could hate that series.
It was very wholesome.
Hmm. It was a perfect blend of wholesome and different.
The newest update on the One Piece film Red sales.
Is it still going?
$17 billion. Well, yen.
Which, how does that convert? Let's quickly throw that.
All right, you do the conversion.
17 billion yen.
So it's 17,356,000,000. Can't short it out. But that is equating to 12 million and a half admissions over an 80-day period.
17.
It is now the
How many zeros is that?
So you got 17, 356, and then 6 zeros after that.
Cool. Okay.
Ninth highest grossing film ever in Japan.
Yeah, cool.
How much money is it? I'm gonna guess it's like 170 million.
182.
Oh, so close.
It's just in Japan alone, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It hasn't gone to America or us yet. I don't think.
Oh, we'll get
Like
it on bloody
November.
DVD before we get it in the
No,
cinemas.
we're gonna get like a few showings in November. Pretty much only in the cities though.
Sad.
I
We'll get it
I
here. No,
I
we
did put a request into my local cinema and I got a very generic email back. It was like, cool, I'm going to Melbourne then, right? Yeah, cool, thanks.
We have received your email.
Volume
Damn.
104 of One Piece is about to go to print.
104.
Yep.
It's a lot of books.
That's a lot of books. I've already committed to buying them. I got
How far
3
along are you
boxes
now?
full of books. It's like 70, I think.
That's not too bad. You're doing pretty well.
Yeah, you get like
That's a
25
hefty
roughly.
investment. Yeah, it's a hefty
It's like,
investment.
well, it's a lot cheaper to buy the box sets. I'm buying the box sets. Plus, they get extras, and they come in like the box that protects them. So it's a win-win-win-win.
It's speaking of printed copies. Thank you very much, my friend, for purchasing me Dan. Thank you for my present.
No worries.
For
Anytime.
the very first issue of Dan in printed form, and by gosh, it looks as beautiful, if not more beautiful, in the printed form than it does on screen.
Did you look at the little extras in the back where they've got like the character profiles?
I did indeed.
They were beautiful.
Good fun. It is. You just read something interesting.
That's a lot of numbers. Spy Family, 27 million copies sold.
That's all you need to say.
Wow.
It's been going off. And you know what? I could not predict that. I knew it was going to be popular, but I didn't think it would go off the way it has.
The anime is very helpful.
Well, it was Clover, isn't it?
Yeah, Cloverworks and someone else.
Yeah.
I feel like UFO Table, but I don't think it is.
Oh, I couldn't see those two working together.
I think it's who
Who
did you say?
I didn't say anybody.
No, I thought you did.
No, I just said it was Cloverworks.
Yeah, Cloverworks.
Said it was Cloverworks. Yeah. That's
Thank
all
you.
I said.
Yeah.
I knew it was Cloverworks. I didn't know if it was with someone or not because they did a bunch
Ah,
of series at the same time.
Wit. Wit Studio.
Ah, there you go. There's
Yeah.
where all the quality is. I'm starting to think that maybe Clover produced it and Wit did the animation.
No, I think they both did stuff, but I can't remember what the split was. But anyway, uh
Hmm.
the second part of the first season has recently dropped as well, which would have definitely
Yeah,
helped sales again. And I think this
yeah.
split season throughout the year is actually, I kind of really like the format. It feels like you're
It's
getting
yeah, it feels like you're not getting everything at once. You're getting just enough to keep
yeah,
the
and kind of
fandom roll in.
it almost sustains the series for like half of the year, so
Hmm.
it's relevant for longer. The
Yeah,
discussions like just continuing on, and it obviously is helping sales quite consistently. And I think it also
as
like
long.
hmm?
No, you
I was
go.
just gonna
You
say
were
I
the
think it
next.
also help would help the animators because they're getting a longer time frame to actually produce the
Yeah,
series.
yeah. You're not wrong there. I think it's a good plan as long as they don't put every great title in one season and then the next season has nothing in it. Because last
Yeah,
season I feel like I didn't watch anything at all from that
yeah,
season.
maybe.
Um and this season, there's a few titles that I'm picking up, but um Spy Family is not one of them. I don't think I will watch it, to be honest, because the manga was enough for me. And I feel like they're putting a lot of their eggs in the one basket per season, and then the off season's getting really hammered and getting
Spread it around.
compared. Yeah, they need to do half and half, and it just feels like it just keeps getting compared too. They're just, everybody's like, here's another crap season coming up. I'm just gonna hibernate for the next
Aw,
2 months, um,
man,
which is
we
a
get
shame.
stiffed. We get stiffed over here in Australia.
Always.
Um, Weekly Shonen Jump does the color spreads that like how they cycle through who gets the color spread page.
Yeah.
They turn those into stickers.
What?
I know.
What?
I know. Got it.
It's just,
Hey
this is
Ollie,
not
what's
fair.
going on, man? What are you reading at the moment, man?
Yeah. What's on the cards for you?
But
So we can
yeah,
judge
no,
you.
I'm actually really annoyed because some of the illustrations are mwah. I think
Oh
there's
yeah,
a
stunning. Beautiful stuff.
what's that one? Is that a My Hero? Actually, I don't know what's going on with Undead Unluck, but they are just about to do their time loop, and everybody's dead except for Undead. Sorry, no. Well, Undead and Unluck actually. Yeah, those are the only
Oh,
two
she's
that
back.
survive.
Sorry, I haven't been
Well,
in touch with it since.
so Unluck is riding the arc through the loop, and Undead is in space.
Not being affected by
So
the loop.
the god son destroyed Earth and killed everybody, including Andy, and he has to wait the 8 point something billion years for the new Earth to form and the loop to start again, essentially. um,
That sounds very detrimental to one's psyche.
yeah, yeah, I would imagine so. So I'm really interested to see where it's going forward. It looks like they've done their obligatory long running series time skip, but they've done it in a time loop kind of way. So now Fuko is a bit
Yeah.
older. She's got the long hair again, and the way she's wearing her hair makes me think that she's gonna die because she's wearing the anime dead mum hairstyle.
Oh
You know, the one where
no.
they got the plait down the side.
The mandatory hairstyle for all mothers that die.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know what else there was in terms of big news. I feel like we're going to be getting a couple of new series, or at least one, because Hunter x Hunter, I think, has started publication again.
Yes. Was it
So
this
maybe
week?
we only get one new. Yeah, I think it was this week. Maybe we only
Hmm.
get one new series.
Hmm.
20 chapters of Hunter x Hunter, then it goes on hiatus again, and then we get another
Yep.
new series.
And then they come back again. So it'll be interesting to see what they drag over, I guess.
See, I'd
I
be
haven't
okay with like a 6 monthly rotation of uh of stories. So like what I
hmm,
would say that they could do is spread their major like popular titles, say like we'll go One Piece, Dragon Ball, Super, My Hero Academia, Black Clover, and Jujutsu. They split that in half. They put that the first half in the first half of the year, the second half in the latter half of the year, and sprinkle their other series in between, and allow the mangakas that are in the later half of the year time to actually create and like give them 6 months to like put out enough work that they are happy with in a comfortable time frame, and
yeah.
you've got the content rolling out still. Like they would have enough properties to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know
But
how that would work for
that
them
means
because that means,
they'd have to pay them for 6 months of no work.
well, no release.
Yeah.
They'd be basically
But what
backing
are
up
they?
issues or building up issues.
Yeah.
Like I get why they do the weekly thing is so they can easily quickly gauge how a series is doing and can it whether or not it's not doing well.
Hmm.
I feel like it's to the detriment at this stage. But then again, they've got some really big hitters.
Yeah. Yeah. That are sitting solidly in place, aren't going anywhere at the moment, and
And
probably
the
more than
consistency of
usual. Yeah.
so
I mean, once One Piece finally bows out, it will be such a big hole to fill.
I'd
And
be
what are we?
very interested to see what happens post One Piece with Jump.
Oh, there'll be a spin-off, or there'll be a restart, or there'll be he'll keep going. I feel like there'll be. I feel like there'll be an end to One Piece, and the
Immediately into
Straw
another
Hat.
long running series.
It'll be the end of the Straw Hat crew, and then he'll go, but the son of this person's son has taken up the pirating, and he'll start following that crew. Then it feels like he would just
You
cycle
reckon
back
it'll
around.
still? You reckon it'll still be Oda?
Oh yeah,
You
that
don't
dude
reckon
will
he'll
have
do like a spin off
he'll
like
have a
Boruto?
pen. He'll have a pen until he goes into his grave. That guy. He, as long as he doesn't do a Boruto, all should be well. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I don't mind Boruto. It's not that bad. A lot of people knock it, but I don't think it's that bad. There's another unpopular decision there from me.
Naruto garbage. Boruto.
Yeah, that's the shit there. That's where it's at.
They actually just did a adaptation of a light novel for Naruto that they just brought over to the Jump app, actually.
Light novel.
Yeah.
Interesting. Words.
Naruto Sasuke's story, the Uchiha and the
Oh,
Heavenly Stardust. You can tell it's
he
a light
didn't.
novel because of the title.
He didn't say it properly. It's Sasuke.
Sasuke!
I reckon they say that guy's name in it in Naruto more than they say Naruto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um,
Too many great memes revolve around that.
Actually, speaking of Chainsaw Man, did you see the Roberco Chainsaw Man cover?
Yes, I did.
It was really cool.
That was actually that blew my mind a little bit. That was a bit cool. Very fun.
Oh,
Very
um,
different.
so they must go off the sales from Volume 1, whether or not a series is going to be cancelled or not, because Aliens Area final volumes 2 and 3 will be released at the same time, February 3rd.
February 3rd. So
So
what are the numbers for issue 1 then? Do we have that?
I don't know. What are you reading at the moment while I
What
search?
am I reading? Okay. You know, it's more like what I'm watching. I started the new Witch of Mercury series, which is the new Gundam series that's dropped.
Oh,
And I know you're not a huge Gundam person,
I just
but you
haven't
know,
gotten
jumped
around
into it.
to like I've dabbled.
Yeah, which is a good thing. Don't delve into it. It's a minefield of hell.
It's
Um,
huge, man.
yeah, and it's different timelines and all that sort of stuff. And this is a new timeline, so I'm actually pretty impressed. Some really nice animation and some real simple slice of life kind of environment at the moment. And the prologue was a bit full on with a lot of people dying everywhere for no real particular reason, which is pretty
I
standard
mean,
Gundam.
yeah,
Yeah. It also sets up for the whole vengeance and stuff like that. That is once again stock standard for Gundam. But
yeah.
they have taken, I think they've taken a little bit of a step back, and I think they're just trying to make things not as heartbreaking as Iron Blooded Orphans was, because that thing just ripped me through. That was tough. That was a really tough series to get through.
I haven't
Um,
actually gotten around to watching it yet. I'm sorry.
no, that's all right. It's
It's
something
brutal.
that's the first. It's the first series I recommend to people when they go like, oh, I want to get into Gundam. I'm like, jump into Iron Blooded Orphans, and then they yell and scream at me and told me they're never going to watch Gundam again. Um,
Cool.
no, look, it's such a different series to all their other stuff, because Gundam is a very politically driven.
Yeah.
There's so much underlying hierarchy and politics, running through all of these wars, and that they actually depict war really well. They don't depict it as this glorified, amazing, heroes on the battlefield kind of environment. They depict it as people dying for no real good reason,
Yep.
pretty much.
You
All
could
these
say
characters that you get
it's
attached to.
basically just war. What is it good for? The anime.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Also,
So
we'll sell toys.
which I love. I love their toys, man. I can't get enough of them.
I can't find it, to be honest.
That's all right.
the
That's all right.
So yeah, I don't know if they actually release the sales numbers for them. I think they might keep it close to the chest if they're not doing well.
Or they're keeping it close to the chest because they don't want it to do well. I don't know. It's
I don't know.
I don't get it. It was such a cool series. The characters were so crazy. The stories were great. I just yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
So, and
I
the
really
the
get it.
first volume only ends at like just before we're introduced to the fire starter. So when that all got set up and he murdered
Man, so there
everybody,
must be so much more to go.
that's where it must have got cancelled. It was chapter 7. So that's starting to make me a little bit more nervous about Ginker and Luna.
Hmm. Hmm.
But like, I don't. So what do they do? 8 weeks and then have the Tankobon released, and then give it another 2 months to see how the sales go. And if it's not performing, then that's it. Later, Gator. Wrap it up.
Yeah, must be.
It's interesting to think about the logistics of how they go about that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've been going back into the Bleach realm. So my thoughts reaching the conclusion is that I feel that Bleach gets a bit of a hard rap. It's not it's not like a masterpiece. There's a like it's pretty close to. Um
But at the
it's
same time, it holds pretty true to that cookie cutter environment, does it
yeah,
not?
it does. For the most part. The
Yeah.
I would probably heavily edit it. Um Probably cut out a few characters just because, like, don't get me wrong, a lot of the characters are really cool, but there's too much going on, man.
Unnecessary is probably the term that you're looking for. It could be a little bit lighter weight,
Yeah.
a little more focus.
I feel like the biggest thing that it gets flack for is its like back-to-back rescue arc, where it's Ichigo rescuing Rukia, and then pretty much straight away it's Ichigo going to rescue Orihime. So just to give an example, One Piece has more rescue arcs than that. Nobody
But they're
blinks an eye there.
probably that's because they're goofy rescue arcs, are they not?
Wow. Nah, you need to watch more One Piece.
No, I don't.
Yes, you
I'm
do.
not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not
um,
going to, join that crowd of people. I'm sorry.
how dare? How dare?
I know.
The audacity.
Respect. I
Um,
mean, respect to the man and everything he's created. Just not my boat.
nah, it's a ship.
Exactly.
Actually, at this stage, it's a goddamn cruise liner.
Do they just keep adding to the boat, or does it just grow?
um,
Or is
nah,
it the same boat?
it,
They just
2 boats.
it's 2 boats now.
There's the Going Merry and the Thousand Sunny. That's all I'm going to talk about the boats.
That's all.
That's it.
You're not going to say anything else about
Nah.
where they got the boats from, or why they're called
So
that, or
they get a boat because they needed more room because they had more crew. That's all I'm gonna say.
So too much spoiler rolling around on
Absolutely.
that one. Tread lightly, my friend. Ships, Jack, get it right.
No, Oda can make you care about inanimate objects.
I see.
Yep.
See. Make you care, maybe.
I cried in my breakfast, all right, man.
Because of the boat.
I mean, but yeah, no, I think that's like Bleach is good. I would say it is probably an 8 and probably a 9 at its really high points. There's some really good like crazy setup from the beginning, as well as see, that's the thing. Actually, the thing that I'm not 100% sure is that is it crazy good setup, or is it just really, really good? Um, what's the word I'm after? Adaptability. It's not
Could
not
be.
exact.
Could
Not
be just
exactly the word, but
utilizing the earlier information a lot better.
yeah.
Hindsight's
But
a wonderful thing.
yeah. The art just keeps going. Just Tate Kubo, just his art is just always so gorgeous. Zombie
Mm.
Powder, uh, Burn the Witch. From what I've flicked through, because I when I heard that it was part of the Bleach franchise, I was like, all right, I even though I probably don't need to know anything about Bleach to read or watch Burn the
Don't,
Witch.
because I've read it and watched it and loved it. It was fantastic, and as far as I can tell, it has nothing to do with Bleach. But it's apparently it is.
It's in the same universe. How? Because I say so.
Because
And
they're
I
on the other
made
side of the
both.
world.
I made both of them. Shut
Yeah,
up.
my universe. I can do what I want.
Yeah. But I would recommend it if someone's looking for a long read, but not super long, not
No,
One
just
Piece long.
not One Piece. I was about to say
Yeah.
there's not
I
many
was like,
other titles out there.
it's still like a hefty amount of chapters. Like, um, how
A
many is it? It's
solid
like
2 months worth, I reckon.
680, 680 chapters, I think.
Did you say?
I think it was like 686, and I'm like, I'm getting there. I'm like, I'm actually like, I think I still got like 100 chapters to go. I'm not sure how, but yeah, like we're in the
Yeah,
final battle.
baby
I'm like,
steps.
there's still another 100 chapters. That's like 100 weeks.
That's pretty standard for a battle in a shonen
Yeah,
title,
true,
isn't it?
true. The raid in on Onigashima and Wano pretty much was like almost 100 chapters.
Just break that down, man. That is 2 years. No wonder it's such a long running title. He just goes, "Oh, I'm going to set up the next few issues, but what I'm going to do in between that while I'm doing the setup is I'm going to make the battle last for two
Punch
years."
fights.
2 years.
Yeah, the punch fighting does go on for a bit.
You see, I don't know if I could handle that. I do
It's good
prefer.
once weekly is hard for One Piece. I'm not gonna lie. I miss the
Because
days where
yeah.
I was able to just binge the whole thing, and it's crazy how good it is to read back to back. The experience is definitely vastly different.
Hmm.
Um, it's funny to think that I caught up to the manga when Wano was halfway through, and it's only just finished. So, yeah,
It's yeah, it's a yeah. I feel like it's a little bit, and that's probably why I would never really get into it, is because they just take too long to do things.
there's a couple of arcs that I would really like you to read, and I feel like you you know enough about the series to kind of jump ahead and not miss out on a whole bunch. And
Mm.
this is my absolute last ditch effort to make you a One Piece fan. Like, I'll curate, like, read this arc, and if you still don't like it, then I'll shut up.
Maybe one of these days I'll get onto it
uh,
when
but
I'm not enjoying new stuff.
yeah, true. I think that's probably gonna wrap up our fortnightly talk about what's been going on in the manga world. I did actually, just really quickly, I saw that the Promised Neverland is actually getting like an epilogue manga tankobon. It's with like a bunch of extras and stuff. It's weird. I don't understand. They
Just milking the cow, I guess.
Yeah. I really, really am just depressed on how they screwed that anime over. But anyway,
Sometimes it just happens that way. It does. Sometimes adaptations fall into the hands of the wrong people. It's gonna happen.
they just crammed like 4
Yeah.
seasons worth into one 12 episode season, and just anyway, this is episode 20 something of Read This Way. I've been Brad.
Just before, sorry,
Oh,
just
sorry, yeah.
before, as I usually do at the end of every episode, read Dan to Dan if you're not reading it now. It is absolutely spectacular. We never really get much of a chance to talk about it. But as far as manga titles go that we're reading on a week-to-week basis, it's probably one of our most anticipated titles that we love. So read it. It's great.
Always, never a disappointment. And
No.
the quality is just always like it's a solid 9 at its worst.
Yeah. It sits comfortably at a 10 from week to week. On the odd occasion, it goes a little quiet and it drops down to a 9, but that artwork just holds it all the way up there every time.
Characters,
even
the
on the quiet stuff.
Oh, everyone's
So
just so charismatic. It's beautiful.
Not even necessarily in a pretty way, just fun way. Let's finish this.
Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram, Twitch, everything else. We are Read This Way. Catch us again next time. Which will be the 9th of November. We'll see you then.
9th of November. Yes.